It's Friday night in the A, and you know what that means. Kelly Price and Tori McElhaney coming at you on Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T.
Atlanta, the preseason is over at last, which means, guess what? We get to talk about real games that matter in just 2 weeks. I'm Miles Garrett, stepping in for the Kelly Price tonight. We got a lot of famous names on this show between myself and Kelly, joined as always by Tori McElhaney. Tori, going to be a nice time to finally talk about games that matter.
Thank God. I'm so ready for the preseason to be over, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, aren't we all? It was a preseason with a win, a tie, a loss, everything you could really ever want. Let's huddle up about it.
Let's huddle up with Kelly and Tori on the world of Falcons football.
So, Tori, it was a big talking point for the entire preseason. When will we see the starters? Now, granted, we saw them for one series against the Bengals, and let's be honest, they look pretty good. What is your take on their overall readiness for the regular season?
Yeah, so defensively, I'm actually not too worried about that group. There are so many veterans on this defense that I think they'll be actually really ready to go when they finally do get the green light to go 100% in an actual game. It's the offense that I have a couple more questions for, just because there are so many unknowns that revolve around this very young core of skill players. We have an idea of what players like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, and Desmond Ridder look like individually, but how will they operate as a group when Arthur Smith really opens up his playbook? That's the question that I have.
So because of no starters, we saw a whole bunch of other guys fighting for their spot on the roster, and as a result, a few standouts. I know for me, Logan Woodside, the quarterback, immediately comes to mind. So who caught your eye in these last 3 games?
Yeah, so, well, I know we're going to talk about DeMarco Hellams later on in the show, so I'll hold off on my comments about him until we get to that point. But I have to say there are a lot of other players in this rookie class that have really caught my eye. Defensively, I think Zach Harrison's best days of football are still ahead of him. Clark Phillips III doesn't really back down from anybody either. Offensively, we know that Matthew Bergeron is stepping into a starting role at left guard, but talking to him, you don't really get the sense of nervous jitters that you might expect from someone playing a new position for the first time at the pro level.
Yeah, a lot of rookies there. Love to see that. Lastly, it being the final preseason game means there's some not so fun decisions ahead. The roster is going to be trimmed down significantly. Now, there's some guys who are sort of toting that line between roster locks and bubble guys. Who fits that category for you?
So what's so interesting is that there is a specific group of skill players who I think the Falcons could really be looking at on that bubble. I think you're talking wide receiver Josh Ali, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, tight ends John Fitzpatrick and Parker Hesse. Defensively, you have to look at the secondary. Did someone like Micah Abernathy do enough to earn a spot? What about Breon Borders or Darren Hall? Truly, there are a lot of decisions ahead for this team.
Yeah, a lot of tough decisions. Not envious of Arthur Smith there. We will see what happens when that roster is finally announced. However, on a more lighter note, the Falcons entered MBS yesterday with some swag to conclude their preseason. We're walking in, presented by Wells Fargo. Our first candidate is none other than Scotty Miller in the black shirt and my personal favorite, the short shorts. Tori, bring them back, King. Some strong Tampa vibes from the former Buck here.
Here's the thing. The short shorts are a vibe, but I do appreciate them considering it's going to be 100 and some odd degrees over the course of the next weekend.
Yeah, at least some people appreciate that. We're going to get to someone else who maybe didn't appreciate that here in just a second. After Scotty was the fullback, Keith Smith in the all-brown unitard of sorts, even bringing in the matching hat to go with it. Got the white shoes there too. Tori, what do you think about this one?
Here's the thing. I love the hat. The hat really makes the whole entire ensemble for me. I'm a big hat girl, so like that's the move for sure. The brown hat with the brown ensemble.
Noted. Men out there, get the hats going. Keeping things on theme with the mono look up and down is Tay Davis. We go all brown to all blue and white shoes to black shoes. Calling the Hansel to Keith Smith's Derek Zoolander here.
Wow, what a reference. I love that. Now, this is a look that I think is good for a brunch or even just a casual night at home, because it kind of goes both ways.
We love a good brunch fit. Tay Davis looking so hot right now, to quote Zoolander. And lastly, come on now, we can't leave out the unicorn Kyle Pitts, walking in with the all-black Prada jacket, mind you. Prada vest, I guess, is the proper term for it. Maybe throw in a little Schmedium shirt there to show off the guns. I can appreciate that, Tori.
Here's the thing. I can appreciate the Schmedium, but also just kind of thinking about wearing a black Prada vest in August in Atlanta is quite the move. But granted, I will give him this. He only has to walk from his car into the stadium, so it's like not really a far walk at all.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts trying to get the sweat sweat glistening off those muscles. I see what you're doing there, Unicorn. Love the all-black fit from Kyle. Meanwhile, we're all weird. I'm weird. Tori's weird, I think. The Falcons are weird. They've got lockers. We don't. So what might they be hiding in there? We asked the Dirty Birds about what the weirdest thing is in their locker in our question of the week.
Do you have anything in your locker that's kind of random? Maybe something, what's like the most randomest thing probably you have in your locker?
I really need to go look in there. I might need to clean it out.
I guess it's gonna be, it's just be random.
I don't think I have anything random. I kind of keep it clean. Like have nothing in there, I guess.
I guess floss picks. I got close teeth, so if I eat anything, something's getting stuck in my teeth, man. So.
I don't know.
What is a random thing that you have in your locker?
I have an old fan that I keep, like an actual air fan that I use to turn on when I'm hot or to dry off my equipment after practice, which I'm one of the only guys that have that. I'm surprised other people haven't figured it out yet, but it's pretty helpful.
I might have like a little back of an earring in there or something, you know. That's random, ain't it?
Well, at least Jake's got something. He's got a fan in there. It's hot outside for practices, but I'm calling their bluff. Someone's got something weird in there.
I feel like you have to. The amount of times that they spend in a locker room, it's like you have to have some just random stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, a jukebox, something like, I don't know.
I know CP walks around with like some type of jukebox radio, but maybe it doesn't fit in his locker. I think it's pretty big.
Do you have anything weird in your desk? I know you don't have a locker. What about a desk?
I do. Well, it's just like a hoard of hoodies. Like I just have like so many hoodies that I just like keep stuck into different drawers because I'm always cold.
Yeah, the Falcons training camp facility in Flowery Branch definitely keeps the air conditioning rolling. So coming up later in the show, Kelly and Tori go in the nest with the head chef at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to see what he's got cooking this season. Certainly jealous of them.
Plus, Calais Campbell had some business to take care of this offseason, and it had nothing to do with football. More on that is coming up next on Rise Up Tonight.
Rise Up Tonight is presented by AT&T and brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. It's time to Rise Up Atlanta. Kelly and Tori are back on your home for Falcons football. Fox 5 Atlanta.
Well, this offseason, Calais Campbell has made an impact with this Falcons team on the field and off of it, but he's also already impacting the community outside of the Falcons facility. As we rise up for Atlanta, brought to you by Truist.
I see you have a lot of stuffed animals. I came to add a bear.
Now, Campbell paid a visit to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Eggleston on Friday, handed out some goodies to kids, posed for some pictures, did some other events around the community too. Campbell is a great player, but also a former Walter Payton Man of the Year, and says getting out in his new community was a priority.
Doing some kind of like charity work and stuff is like the best way to get to know the community, you know. And God bless, me and all my teammates with so much. And I feel like going out in the community and just trying to, make your presence felt and really just be a part of the community. That's what it's all about. It makes the game so much more special and so much more fun when you can come into a place where people are strangers and they feel like family because they love the team, they love the way we play the game. So it's definitely a blessing.
Awesome stuff there from Calais. Meanwhile, Tori, I know you're a Georgia grad, but there's a certain man from the Alabama Crimson Tide who is catching Falcons fans' eyes this preseason, and dare I say yours?
Yeah, I as much as I hate giving compliments to the University of Alabama, but I will give this one. DeMarco Hellams is someone who has consistently showed up for the Falcons in this preseason. He was a leading tackler in all 3 games and had picks in 2 of the 3 games too. Arthur Smith was asked about him multiple times this preseason, and every single time he said the same thing. The DeMarco Hellams that they're seeing play before them is the same guy that they scouted and liked at Alabama. He's an aggressive tackler and has a knack for being at the right place at the right time. But did he do enough to earn a spot on this Falcons 53-man roster? That's the question, and I tend to think yes, he has.
Yeah, I don't think DeMarco Hellams could have done anything more. Well, thank you. Coming up, no more preseason, which means some decisions lie ahead. We'll bring you some hot takes for the roster later in the show.
Plus, Kelly and I are literally sinking our teeth into all of the yummy food offerings at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this season. That is coming up next.
Welcome back to Rise Up Tonight. Let's head in the nest with Kelly, Tori, and this week's special guest, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
All right, in the nest, we are talking food today with the head chef of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Matt Cooper. We're going to talk about fan-friendly options. We're going to talk about all the new things that you can get at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and it smells really good, so let's get to it. Yeah. Let's talk about this first display we've got here.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is our fan-friendly item. So all of this right here, $20 for this entire board. So you have popcorn, a drink, chicken tenders, fries, hot dog, pretzel, nachos with cheese, and pizza. So everything there, $20.
How long have y'all been doing is this the first year of kind of a package deal like this?
So it's all individual. We just wanted to show it here what you can get for $20.
Okay.
But this has been here since we opened the stadium, and it's never changed. It hasn't changed, and it's never going to change. So fan-friendly pricing, $2 hot dogs. So yeah, really good pricing. Whole family can eat for under $20.
All the staples, you got to have it. All right, let's talk about some of these new options. We've got frictionless market. Has got
Colby beef.
Yeah. So this is
I'll let you
this is a cool one. This is a Colby beef wrap, and this is in our frictionless market. So you walk up, scan your credit card, walk in, grab whatever items you want, and just walk out, and it charges your card. So pretty cool concept. We have a whole wheat tortilla shell with sticky rice, broccoli, sriracha. So that's a hot wrap that's going to be in our frictionless market this year.
So tell us more about what you can find in that frictionless market.
Yeah, so we have some of these items actually, nachos, we have pretzel bites, the Colby beef wrap, and then a ton of beverages and snack options as well.
Fantastic. Now we're going to move down, and this is my personal favorite.
Oh, yes.
Some mac and cheese. We've got some bacon jam grilled cheese. Honestly, just all the cheese products is my personal favorite, but where can everybody find these?
Yeah, so I put all the cheese stuff together. So we have mac and cheese, obviously, is a southern staple. So in Delta Club and Mercedes-Benz Club, you'll see Mac Shack, a new concept for this year, taking place of Yard Dog, which was our concept last year. And it's a bunch of different kind of topped mac and cheeses. We have some topped hot dogs. So we're gonna be shelling out a lot of mac and cheese this year. And then we have the bacon jam grilled cheese. So can't go wrong with a nice grilled cheese at a stadium. And it's on sourdough, cream cheese, American cheddar cheese, and then the hot berry bacon jam.
Now, when it comes to, I guess, mixing some of these flavors together, I mean, when it comes to that, how much are you taking into account what fans are saying and kind of your own personal choices?
Yeah, so that's a big piece. We do a lot of R&D, so research and development. We spend a lot of time developing these items, trying them out. Sometimes we'll have the fan council come in and try these items, let us know what they think about it. And we have a lot of internal people as well, everyone from press, media. They'll come down, try items. We'll do tastings all year long just to see what people think, and we go from there. But this is a chance for us to be creative, come up with new items, develop some cool toppings on mac and cheese, and just make it fun.
How does one get on this fan council?
I know, right? That's a little secret there. We might have to let that one out of the bag, but that's a fun one.
So we have the Dirty Bird mac, but what is on that? Because you said there's a couple different options of the topped mac and cheese.
Yes, so this one specifically has buffalo chicken, which we braise in-house, or we cook in-house, some blue cheese crumbles, and green onions.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah,
all right,
really
let's move on. ATL BBQ.
My favorite, yes.
Stadium nachos.
This is your favorite.
This is my favorite.
Oh, I love to hear that. It's even in a stadium.
So this right here, this is how you're going to get it at the stadium. So this is our vessel that we created and designed for this nacho specifically. So it's the shape of the stadium. This can feed a family. There's 2 or 3 people easily. I mean, just feel that. Feel how heavy that is.
Oh my gosh, that's literally like 5 pounds at least.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
hefty.
It's beautiful though.
Yes.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful with the box and the
nice,
presentation.
Right?
I mean, I personally love it.
So
10 out of 10
vessel,
presentation.
really cool, but we have burn ends that we cook in-house. We smoke overnight. So burn end brisket. We have cheese sauce, cilantro crema, fresh cilantro on top, and some pico de gallo. And then we hit it with a little barbecue sauce just to top it off. So my favorite, this one's coming out for our first home opener Falcons
If that's chef's favorite, you know it's good.
Yep.
All right, I think it's time for us to do some maybe R&D of our own. What do you want to try, Tori?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I'm going to do the mac and cheese.
Okay. I might do a bit of the nachos.
You should. It's a favorite, so.
I might do a bit of the nachos here.
There you go. Try that one.
At a risk of being extremely messy on camera.
Well, when we do any type of tailgating, my family, we always do just like a buffalo chicken dip. It's like a staple. So the fact that there's like buffalo chicken in this, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Cheers. We got it.
Nice, nice. Good stuff.
10 out of 10.
Very good. You'll hear no complaints from me.
Love
No,
it.
that's excellent.
That's what we go for.
That is excellent. So you said this is your favorite. What was your favorite to develop?
Ooh, yeah.
Favorite to develop? Yeah, that's a good question. I think the bacon jam grilled cheese. That's a good one. I mean, it's really tasty. You have some sweet in there. You have the Kobe pepper jack cheese. So grilled cheese, I don't know what it is. I always eat grilled cheese. I always have it on deck at my house. Always making those.
It's just easy make. Now, when you were
is.
going through kind of like the testing of all of these and people are eating your food and kind of what you're creating, was there a fan favorite just with some of the testing groups?
Yeah, so we actually, we had a brisket grilled cheese. We had a couple different grilled cheese. This was the favorite, so we chose that one. And then with the Mac Shack, we came up with, I think, like 8 or 9 different mac and cheeses with all different toppings, different proteins. And we had the top 5 that people liked. That's what ended up going into the stand. The fun part is if we want to switch out in the middle of the season, we can. So you might see this, for the first few games, we might switch it out with a different one. Some of those burn ends go well on mac and cheese. So yeah, it's not always going to be the same. We'll switch it out every now and then.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to enjoy these. I don't know about you guys, but catch all this stuff at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this season. It'll be all over the place, and we're going to enjoy some of this. We'll be right back on Rise Up Tonight.
Hey Atlanta, this is Head Crack talking, and you watching Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T.
It's like I don't get caught up in whatever narrative is after 4 weeks of the daily narratives. You can almost write some of these narratives and live and die every week by the narratives because it sets up bad, narratives. So you can frame the narrative, you can write narratives. Those are easy narratives.
Still to this day, one of my proudest accomplishments is putting together that montage.
Can you make us another one? A new
one?
one?
Oh, yes. I mean, we're going to get a bunch of it.
Right?
We're going to get a bunch. Yeah, I'll put a mustache on and I'll throw it together. Really,
Thank you.
Really set the tone. Now, Tori, luckily for Arthur Smith, we're not talking narratives. We're talking hot takes.
He probably likes that even less.
Oh, yeah, just even we'll ask him about it. But certainly some options to choose from for this preseason. I'll start. Heard some Falcons fans chirping on Twitter saying, will this offense be ready without getting any preseason reps in? So they got a little bit, but my hot take is not only will they be ready week 1 against Carolina, they will not have a penalty on that opening drive and will score not a field goal, but a touchdown against Bryce Young's Panthers. I know what Arthur Smith is saying when it comes to his guys getting productive reps in during training camp. He thinks they'll be ready to go, and who am I to doubt him? I think they will too.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get some real football up in here. My hot take has to do with the initial roster cuts that are coming on Tuesday as the Falcons trim down their roster to 53 men. When the Falcons do make those cuts, I'm beginning to think that there may be a lot of former Falcons draft picks that may not be on that initial list. Think players like Jalen Mayfield, Darren Hall. Also, maybe what about D'Angelo Malone or Justin Schaefer? We already talked about John Fitzpatrick being a bubble player to watch too. So how many cuts will include former draft picks? I'm starting to think there may be more than in years past.
Yeah, could be some surprise cuts there. So on the topic of draft picks, will the Falcons be facing, or the Falcons will be facing off against the top pick in this year's draft class, the Heisman winner, Bryce Young. Now, we've already seen the preseason, perhaps some struggles he might face against the Falcons offensive line, or against the Panthers offensive line going against a tough Falcons defensive line.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell, a really big guy, 6'8", Bryce Young, 5'9". Will he have some struggles there?
Here's the thing, and this is kind of what I've been telling people. It's like the Falcons know just as much about the Panthers offense as I feel like the Panthers offense knows as much about the Falcons defense. So this really, truly, I think is a chess match for these coaches to figure out exactly what it is that they have and how they can best use it. This is going to be such a fun game, a really good week 1 matchup that I personally am really looking forward to, and that of course includes this defensive line trying to get after Bryce Young a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. 2 teams that really have been rebuilding, but I think the Falcons are a little bit ahead of that rebuild than the Panthers are. A new coach, new quarterback, a little bit of a new offensive system. So going back to the Falcons, if you could give a grade for these Falcons during the entire preseason, what would you give them?
Ooh, B-.
B-. Okay, it's a pretty solid grade right there. That's what we're going to roll with. Thanks for staying up real late with us tonight. That's Tori McElhaney. I'm Myles Garrett. Hope you guys have a great night.